Hi, I'm Morgan Freeman. I am here today to talk to you about ancient Egypt and its secrets. For a long time, we've come to understand that I couldn't do it with a straight face. Okay, all right, we'll get serious. Let's get serious, yo. The systems, the school systems, man. When I was going to them, they lied to us. They lied to all of us. Everybody who went to school, man, they lied to every last one of us. When they always spoke about ancient Egypt, they didn't really talk about much. Like it was always, all right, this is ancient Egypt before, and this is ancient Egypt after. The end. And they never really dug deep into that shit, man. And for a long, long time, they've been teaching kids that ancient Egypt was primitive. That all they had was sand, clay, and some diamonds and jewelries and like gold and shit, man. And bricks. That's all they told people that they had, man. They didn't tell people, they didn't go into depth into shit, man. But when the ancient Egypts did, though, is they left behind clues of how advanced their civilization was. And these are fucking light bulbs. Big ass light bulbs. Who was that they said invented light bulbs? Who was that? They say Lewis Latimer invented the light bulb? Bullshit. The light bulb didn't come out in 1879, 1880, man. It was out there in the BC. It had already been made, man. It had already been thought up a long ass time ago. They just gave it to Lewis Latimer to make it seem like our civilization had become so advanced that look how we evolved, y'all. Look how we got light now. We got light bulbs. We got all this now. Motherfucker, we been had that shit in the BC. The BC. The Egyptians were so advanced that they kind of make us not seem really too advanced. And I don't understand why the schools just didn't just tell us that shit, man. Instead of just saying some bunch of bullshit. These were the Egyptians. This is what they used to do, and this is how they had to stand. They had to build up in this, and they had slavery. They had to get whipped. Yo, man, they had electricity. They had light bulbs. They had technology. They had all of this shit, bro. The same things that we are doing, well, we ain't doing it, but the same things the elites, the governments, the wicked motherfuckers at the top, demigods are doing, are the same things that ancient Egypt had done. Ancient Egypt was destroyed. It wasn't just like abandoned, man. It was destroyed for their iniquities, for their wickedness, just like Sodom and Gomorrah, man. What they were doing, one of my sources told me, like, man, they was cloning in ancient Egypt. I didn't believe him. I thought he was just talking shit. But then I had to do some more of my homework and my research, and I was like, oh my God, they did. They really did. They were cloning people. They were DNA splicing. And then another thing popped up in my head, like, oh, that's why these motherfuckers always wanted to keep their bodies preserved. So that way when they do die, they can be cloned again into this time, which is happening today. That's why that's why keeping the bodies preserved was so important to them, man. Even though they followed and worshipped these false gods, bro. These false gods told them, like, we can be able to preserve your body to where you can live forever. And they wanted to live forever, but the thing was, there was a catch to it. You couldn't. Your soul would always be gone. Your image would come back, but it'd be driven by a demonic entity. Straight up. How they were cloning, how they were splicing, putting a human head on a animal body or an animal head on a human body. That shit was real. Like in all the paintings and hieroglyphics and shit, like they were showing, they put out there what they were doing and what they saw. Just like an artist, the average artist today, man. You look out, you see what you see things and you put it on a paper. You draw, you got the abstract, got landscape, you got all that shit. It's just like a regular artist. This shit was existing in those times, bro. And in those times were giants. Giants in those days. Motherfuckers were breeding the false gods, demigods, with human beings, man, and they created giants. Giants that got so big they ate up everything. Until they ran out of the horses and the cows, they started eating people. This was the wickedness that was going on back in those days, man. This is the technology that they had. Fallen gave us all the technology. They gave us all the cosmetics. They gave us everything, the knowledge of what is that? Astronomy, Scientology, all of this bullshit, man. They gave us all of that. To what? To destroy ourselves. It's plain and simple, bro. Just like Atlantis. Because Atlantis, they destroyed themselves with the technology they had. And this history is just keep repeating. Just like today, man. We in this shit right now. And then they be like, man, God ain't gonna destroy us because we ain't the ones that's doing it. We ain't doing it, but we're not standing up against this shit, which means that we are down with it. If you ain't standing up against this, you down with it. Period, bro. Like, who was that? Donald Marshall. When he came out, I didn't believe nothing he said, man. I thought he was full of shit. When he said, like, King Tut was cloned. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, King Tut was cloned. King Tut, who's King Tut? And he said Lil Wayne. And I'm like, and then when I saw that, I was like, no way, man. No fucking way. How? You look at the pictures of King Tut's tomb. I can't do it on this computer. I had to have the other computer to do this, but to like put the pictures together, like morphed. But you can see Lil Wayne a little bit, just a little bit up in here, bro. Like the eyebrows, the eyes kind of like drooped, slanted a little bit. The small chin. And then you go back and it's pretty much the same. The eyebrows, the droopy, slanted kind of eyes, the small chin. I was like, oh shit, what? And then they want to say, well, you know, that's why Lil Wayne don't cut his dreads off, man, because he's hiding the elongated skull. The dreads is what hides that skull. It's possible. I wouldn't doubt it. But when I saw this and then I saw this picture, the teeth stood out to me. I'm like, wait a minute. That mouth kind of looked familiar, man. Oh, never mind this blue dot. Don't worry about that. But yeah, the whole teeth thing, check it out. Come on now. What? The small chin and the teeth right there. And then we go back to King Tut. Small chin, teeth. And this just was like, I was just like, okay, maybe Donald Marshall wasn't so full of shit on this one. But it's very possible. This is very possible, man. Lil Wayne is King Tut. What they be saying, Lil Wayne's health is deteriorating. Or his health is falling. Why is his health always falling? Remember when King Tut was born? Who was his parents? His brother, well, they were brother and sister, his parents were. King Tut was born out of incest, man. Thou shalt not lay with your brother or your sister, your mother, your father, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your nieces, your cousins. None of that, bruh. King Tut health was always declining. And it's like they say, man, like if you got a guy that's dying of cancer, he has cancer and then he dies, you clone him. And did you know his clone would still have that cancer? You can never get rid of it. They always saying that Lil Wayne's health is declining, man. Just like King Tut's. Lil Wayne, critical condition after seizures, always seizures. And they say, and they try to like throw you off. He's been drinking too much lean. He's been smoking too much weed. Man, a lot of people do that shit and they don't even catch seizures. I seen it. It ain't seizures. It's just, this shit don't cause seizures, man. If it does for some people, man, they gotta have like some kind of medical condition. But Lil Wayne, man, time after time, even when he wasn't doing codeine and all that shit, man, his health was still deteriorating. Like King Tut's. See how they switch it up on you. See how they put this out in your face. Do y'all remember this time? This stage performance right here, man? When Lil Wayne's eyes changed? What did I tell y'all? I told you the bodies are driven by demonic entities. Lil Wayne did not, what they say, it was like Lil Wayne just put in some eye contacts. He didn't have enough time to put them damn contacts in. And his hands never went near his eyes when he was performing, bro. His eyes literally changed in front of all of us. In front of all of us. It slowly died down. Now people, I don't understand, man. Are y'all serious about worshiping and following and supporting these fucking celebrities? Not only that, y'all defend them like they pay y'all rent and shit. They don't give a fuck about nobody, bro. Demonic entities are in these celebrities. This performance, like, go look it up. Go find this performance, man. Lil Wayne's eyes change in front of everybody. Not just his eyes, man. His whole face morphed. This is like some what's that movie? The Devil's Advocate, where the chick was, who was that? Was it Mary? Yeah, she was in the dressing room with two other chicks, and these two other chicks, they were just acting all weird. And then next thing you know, the black lady, man, her face changed, and then she had a whole bunch of hands in her body moving all around, man. Demonic entities in these motherfuckers. They say Nefertiti is Beyonce. It's possible, man, but I don't know. This shit's crazy how this looks like Angelina Jolie. Keeping the bodies preserved so they can bring them back in today's world. And when you put them out there in the world, nobody will notice. Who's gonna notice? I could find a mummy, clone it, give it a different name, raise it to give it a different demeanor and everything, and put it out there, and nobody gonna know that motherfucker used to be a pharaoh. Queens, all these motherfuckers. Throughout ancient Egypt civilization, long gone, its scientific achievements continue to outshine those of the modern Western world. Suggestions were made elsewhere with varying degrees of sincerity, my fault. Damn, phoning away. Then the ancient Egyptians had known of electricity and had succeeded in harnessing its power. They had all that shit. They had all the technology, man. They had all of it. Light bulbs, electricity, cloning, DNA splicing, and then they come out here and they tell you, shh, don't tell nobody. And if you know, you still should never tell. It's a secret. Don't tell nobody. Real shit, man. That shit is just crazy. The same shit that's going on, that had went on with Atlantis, Sodom and Gomorrah, ancient Egypt. All of that shit is happening today. And it's only a matter of time before, like, the entire world just collapses. And y'all already see all these damn tornadoes and thunderstorms and tsunamis and hurricanes and cyclones and all of this shit happening. Wildfires starting out of nowhere, man. Like, man, the Most High's like, man, knock it off. No joke. They doing it all over and over and over again. History always repeats. The Heavenly Father is the truth, always and forever. I love you all. Peace and blessings. Baruch Shai, out.